Hello and welcome everybody to today's edition of Breaking News Business here at Mexico News Network. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on all our social networks and to catch us every day by logging onto our website, mexiconewsnetwork.com, for relevant stories and news. Let's start with today's show. Millennials are preparing themselves for the reality that they will end up working deep into old age, or even until they die. 36% hope to work beyond 65 years of age, 19% expect to be working until they reach 70, and 8% said that they will work until the day they die. According to data obtained from the study, The Careers of the Millennials, Vision 2020 by Manpower Group. The study by Manpower emphasizes that millennials are working longer hours as well as much harder than previous generations. 79% confirm working more than 40 hours per week, and more than a third work longer than 50 hours per week. 42% are working 2 jobs simultaneously. Although they anticipate that they'll take their foot off the accelerator someday, irrespective of gender, 39% of respondents plan to take a significant career break in order to travel, take vacations, or relax. Millennials prioritize 3 things when it comes to choosing where and how to work: money, opportunities for promotion, and benefits. They also value vacations and free time, a flexible working environment, and the opportunity to develop new skills. Instead of doing just one job all their lives, continuing study. They understand the need to have a continuous development of skills and work towards achieving them. 80% have incorporated a permanent learning mantra and are willing to invest their own time and money to gain further skill sets. The report highlights the positive correlation between career and their ease of learning. Another aspect highlighted by Manpower Group's study is the trust and self-belief held by millennials. 85% of respondents stated that they were optimistic about their immediate job prospects, and 73% trust that if they were to lose their main source of income, within 3 months they'd find a similar or better job. In other headlines, Christiana Figueres Olsen, the diplomat from Costa Rica who in 2016 ranked first place in Forbes' list of most powerful women in Central America, is in the running officially for the candidacy for the position of General Secretary of the United Nations. If she's elected, she'll be the first woman to occupy this position. Ever since the inauguration of the United Nations 70 years ago, there have been 8 general secretaries, from which only one of them is from Latin America. But there's never been a woman in this position. It's time for a change. Figueres' campaign is titled Restoring Hope, in which she promises to achieve a pacific solution to disputes and a strengthening of the ability to respond in a crisis. It's financed partially by the government of Costa Rica and crowdfunding. More recently, she's been widely recognized for her 6-year effort to construct the necessary collaborations to deliver a global, legally binding agreement that had previously seemed impossible, culminating in the historical Paris Agreement in December of 2015. The 195 governments which are parties to the Climate Change Convention unanimously adopted the Paris Agreement, accelerating the intentional transformation of the global economy toward low carbon and high resilience. Ms. Figueres is renowned for her relentless sense of optimism in the face of adversity, and confidence that if we develop a global collective, we can transform our current reality. She's broadly quoted for her mantra, "Impossible is not a fact, it's an attitude." She's been a strong advocate for the pursuit of climate change targets, not as ends in themselves, but rather as vehicles through which each country can pursue more stable economic growth, greater energy independence, more livable cities, better transportation, more job creation, more food and water security, and better health. The UN is facing a difficult road ahead, but with her same optimism, added to a perspective that strives for possibilities instead of resignation, she looks to create a growing cycle of trust and hope. Moving on. The A380 is the biggest and most spacious airplane in the world and provides its clients with the most relaxed and comfortable flight possible. It's by far the traveler's favorite airplane today. Being able to fly in this emblematic two-story plane is a matter of choice, not chance. Even more now, they've launched a website specifically for making reservations. It's been discovered that about 60% of travelers make an effort to travel specifically on this plane. That's why iFlyA380.com was created. It's the website for travelers that are looking for the experience of flying in this two-story aircraft. Exploring new digital platforms to make it easier for passengers to choose their favorite plane resulted in this innovative project, explains Mark Fontaine, official of digital transformation at Airbus. For the first time in the market, a reservation service that has a type of plane as search criteria for flight selection is launched. This had made passengers, Airbus A380 and airline operators very happy. This site is the only place where the world's only 13 operators can showcase the services they provide on board and the destinations they offer, along with attractive information that can help travelers choose their next vacation spot. Airbus A380 is the world's largest airliner, and with 40% more capacity and lowest seat mile costs in its class, this is the only commercial plane with 2 complete floors for passengers, with 544 seats in a standard distribution. When given a choice, time and again, travelers opt for the A380, thanks to its quiet and spacious cabin with up to 19-inch standard seat width in economy, up to a private 3-room suite. As a result, A380 operators benefit with higher market shares, higher load factors, and higher revenues, allowing airlines to increase their contribution to profit by up to 65% per flight on routes that reach up to 8,200 nautical miles. More than 130 million people have already enjoyed the experience of flying aboard one of these airplanes. 230 airports receive them due to it being designed to be compatible for all airports, no matter their size. As a matter of fact, every 3 minutes an A380 takes off or lands somewhere in the world. To date, Airbus has secured orders for more than 3,500 wide-body aircraft from all types of operators, from major carriers to charter companies, with those already delivered being flown almost everywhere across the globe. As of January 2016, A380 fleets operated on 102 routes to 50 global destinations, and they keep expanding their business every day. And finally, let's turn to the financial markets. The Mexican peso decreased 0.27% from 18.86 in the previous trading session. The peso changed up by 0.18% during the last week, was up 2.29% during the last month, and was up 16.79% during the last year. Mexico's IPC index increased up 0.18% to 46,763 from 46,679 in the previous trading session. Mexico's IPC index changed down 0.78% during the last week, was up 1.19% during the last month, and was up 4.49% during the last year. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman, and remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.